This is so typical.
I'm a little bit into it.
You
A
are,
little
and
bit.
I'm like, I think I have a costume from one time that I went to a wedding. I'll go put it on.
I have so many costumes just around, and I made a bunch, and I'm a lot. I am the guacamole.
The
I am
guacamole?
extra. Mhm.
Explain. What does that mean? You are the guacamole.
Well, you know how guacamole's extra?
Oh my god. Okay.
I am extra.
I
I
have
am
candy. Candy is Halloween, right? I'm gonna eat gummy bears while
sure.
okay,
Sure.
cool. And I'll make lots of noise near the microphone. We'll
Oh,
call
I
it
sure
AS.
hope so, because that's the aesthetic, right? Like, because like my tea is not going to make any noise. I just fed my cat, so she's not going to make any noise. Maybe she was squawking a minute ago, like, you haven't fed me for 2 hours. I'm like, why are you so hungry? You're like made of skin and bones, you geriatric netherworld creature. And she's like, I
Oh
love you.
man.
Thank her. She
So
can't hear anything I say anyway. She's deaf.
so you can be as rude as you want.
I can. I can be like, your breath is the worst breath in the whole world, and you're stinky baby. She's purring like a freight train right now.
She really works well with your costume aesthetic witchiness. I love it.
Yes, I
So,
arranged this all for this particular podcast.
so
Oh,
we
oh,
are
we love that.
recording twice in one day. Do we want to pretend like this is a new week and do our normal thing?
Well,
Now
since
that
you've
I
already like, I don't care either way, but if you're gonna say it, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Oh,
Kate.
look, we haven't seen each other for a whole 15 minutes.
Hey, Kate, did you have your shit together this week?
Did I ever? Or, for the past 2 weeks, it's been a lot. There's been a lot. Oh God, there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot,
Tell
and
me.
there's still a lot. But yeah,
Okay.
but let me tell you, let's start with something light, shall we?
Okay. Light.
Let's start with something like, because Halloween is like there's some darkness to it, and there's some history to it, and there's some elements to it that some might consider dark or mysterious or scary or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with something light. So one of my superpowers is that I am a thrift store genius. I manifest whatever the fuck I want somehow. I don't know how I do it. And I don't think I ever really thought about this superpower until I was telling a young friend of mine about something I found at the thrift store, because I was trying to figure out what to do for actual Halloween, not the days leading up to it, because of course there are many events to have a costume for. But like, I wanted, like, I was trying to figure out what to do for like the trick or treating event, because my best friend's family, the Rollinses, my kids and I always dress up thematically with them. And we did the Cast of Adventure Time one last year.
I remember that one.
Right. And I was Princess Bubblegum, and my bestie was Marceline. And the year before that, I think we did Into the Spider-Verse. So
Oh, that's a cool one.
Right. And I was Doc Ock, naturally. And then I think the year before that, we did Gravity Falls. I was Mabel and she was Dipper.
Nice.
Appropriate, because I basically am Mabel. And just like we always theme it up. So this year, several of our teenagers are entering in the I don't know if I want that kind of phase. They'll still participate because we say so, and it's tradition, but like they want to branch out a little. So it was suggested Netflix and chilling.
Okay, wait. What?
Like the spooky stuff, the sort of scary shows on Netflix. If you can pick a character from one of those, from a Netflix show that's a little scary, then you're good to go, basically.
Okay, but what about the chilling part?
Well, that's the chilling part.
Chilling and not chilling. Oh,
not chilling. But like, ooh, chilling.
Okay, I got you.
I didn't pick the name, but I still think it's very clever. Anyway,
very clever.
Very clever. So
I was gonna
anyway,
say, how are you going to dress up as hookup culture?
not a thing I've ever had a skill for, but anyway. So my friend, I had just given her I purge my shit on a regular basis, and I had these two fantastic jackets that I found at a thrift store once and like never did anything with, and so I gave them to her, and I told her that my bestie was thinking about being the Witcher, Geralt, sorry, from The Witcher.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen the whole first season, but I only just started watching the second one, and I'm not super into it. I'm just looking for the character I'm going to be because.
I've seen the rectangle on Netflix.
Oh, there you go. Well, like The Witcher is played by Henry Cavill, Superman.
Okay.
Big, beautiful, burly dude, but he's like white hair, black everything, and it's like a fantasy story, and he's magic, and he fights stuff. It's fun. Anyway, and his like sort of sidekick is this minstrel guy called Jaskier. So I'm gonna play Jaskier, and my bestie is gonna play the Witcher.
Oh.
So unlikely, but it's cool. And my friend suggested it because one of the jackets I had just given her is perfect for the jacket that Jaskier plays. I am telling it so long. Anyway,
I can't wait to see these. I can't wait to see these pictures. That's the point.
Look at, send them all. So I was like, so I was gonna go to the thrift store after I picked up, re-borrowed the jacket from the person I just gave it to, and I was gonna go to the thrift store and see if I could find. She did have a vest to lend me, but I wanted to see if I could find something a little better, maybe not. But mostly I was going to a thrift store because I wanted to find stuff for Sammy. Sammy wants to be a plague doctor, which is not on Netflix. Don't worry about it. He wants to be a plague doctor. And he wanted to do some historical research, actually, to make sure that we have like potions that plague doctors actually used.
I'm sorry. I'm certain there's a plague doctor on Netflix, and I'm going to find it for him. Don't you worry.
I'm sure
Don't worry, my Sam.
Don't you worry, Sam. We've got this. He doesn't care. He's decided he's a plague doctor, and that's the end. He's not worried about it. So I asked his dad to buy the mask and gloves, which because I'm like, dude, I can't come up with the whole thing. I got stuff going on. So he got that. And then I wanted to see if I could find at the thrift store something I could make into a cloak, because the only black fabric I have is black velvet, and that deserves something better. Because I have emotional attachment to all my fabric. Don't judge me. So I wanted to see if I could find something that would work for like a cape, even if it's a black sheet or a sheet I can dye black or something, maybe some black pants. And so I found, and maybe some boots that would fit him. Because he doesn't have any boots, like black boots or something. So I found this black fleece hooded poncho that like on adult would go to his knees, but like on a Sammy goes like almost to his ankles. Perfect. It's perfect. Even has like brown leather straps that go with his brown and black plague doctor mask. And I found pants. And I found, guess what?
What?
A women's size 8 in a boot is a child size 6.
Awesome.
I didn't know that. I just found the boots and I was like, ooh, I wonder if we could make these fit Sam, because they're perfect. Oh, there you go. What is it? Mystery Lab?
Mystery Lab. It has a plague doctor on it. I don't know if it actually has to do with plague doctors, but if anyone asks him, tell him to tell them that he's somebody from Mystery Lab.
We will look that up together and see if there's a plague doctor like episode. Anyway, so I found boots, I found the poncho, I found pants, and then I found myself a jacket that I made into a vest that was perfect for myself. And then Beck,
yes,
I found, listen, I have a size 11 foot. Okay, you would think that would make me 6 feet tall. It doesn't. I'm sad about it. I'm bitter. I'm only less than that by a bit. I'm not telling, but significantly less than that. And I found a pair of size 11 leather lace-up boots that aren't stilettos. Wow. Something I can wear without breaking my Lego ankle again. Thigh high. What?
No way. That's awesome.
Way for $12.
What?
It would have been criminal if I had left the thrift store without them. Criminal. I would have gone to jail if I hadn't purchased these thigh-high, lace-up, zip-up leather boots that fit my body.
Please tell me you're wearing them right now.
I'm not, but I can put them on. But how would you see them?
What?
But you wouldn't see, like, you can't. I was gonna say I can show you the leggings I'm wearing, but my cat's on me, so.
Oh, okay. I won't make you disturb the cat.
Yeah, she's like, I'm perfectly content right here. I'll show you later when she gets up. So anyway, I got these, and the funny thing was is that I also found. Okay, listen, I had a party to go to. It was a Greek pantheon party, and so naturally I was gonna pick Hecate, the Greek goddess of witchcraft and the crossroads, because she is my patron deity, and you know, my namesake and all of that. So I was going to be Hecate. However, I have a problem. I don't have contacts. The only reason you never see me with glasses on is because glare, and then I can't see you if I wear my glasses. I either have to be farther away, and now I can see you, or closer up and I can't see you at all. So I just don't even bother, right? But like, I'm blind. I've got to wear glasses. I don't have any contacts at the moment. And glasses don't look right with like a classical Greek goddess outfit, right?
Right. No, they just don't.
They just don't. But guess what I do have?
What do you have?
Purple steampunk sunglasses that are prescription.
Whoa.
That's just my sunglasses that I just wear, and they're really rad, and they're like very rock star in it. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go as rock star Hecate, which requires really cool boots that I think I might have, and now I do, and a black leather jacket that I'm gonna paint Hecate on, and then I'll figure out the rest of the outfit. You know what? So
wow, I love it.
So I found thigh-high rock star boots. I found a black pleather jacket that I painted Hecate on. It's wild. I still have no, I can't believe, and like the leather jacket, well, it was pleather, but it looks like a motorcycle jacket. That was like $8. So I didn't feel bad painting on it.
That's amazing.
And I was the only one at the party who had chosen like a different interpretation, but whatever, because I could wear my glasses and actually see people. So there.
I texted Rose the other day, Rose Ray, our guest, Jonathan's significant other, and and told her this was the name of her podcast because, you know, she sews and she's into costumes and things like that. But now I'm realizing it's the name of your podcast with her. You would have to co-host it with her, and it's called So What? SEW. What? So what?
I love it. Oh my God, because I'm always sewing shit all the time.
So get on that spin-off podcast coming soon from Kate and Rose. So what?
So what? Yep, I'm excited. I'm down for it.
I'm great at naming every podcast in the world except for this one.
We've gone through so many iterations. You're like, well, what you know, we should do this one. I'm like, I don't know, get your shit together is fine. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. You've really got a lot of costumes going.
I have at least 2, but then I went to another party like the next night. So like the Greek Pantheon party was last weekend on Saturday, and then on Sunday there was a party of people. Like, okay, the Greek Pantheon party was my friend's birthday party, and I know him and his wife, and I sort of know 1 or 2 of their friends, and like I didn't know anybody else, but I was so full of social anxiety to get there. I didn't get there till like 2 hours into the party, and everyone was already slashed by the time I arrived. So everyone was very friendly and kind. Like, and I make friends really easily once I get there, but like, I didn't even have to say anything. People were like, I just love you. I love you so much. I'm like, thank you. What's your name? And like, and there at least 2 people told me like their deep, dark, personal secrets. And I'm like, is this just because it's me? Because people do this all the time? Or is it because they're drunk? I don't know. But it's fine. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to have another grape, you know?
I love
and
it.
like the next party, so my sister Rose, she, as you know, has this global life coaching company, and one of her clients lives here in Georgia and was throwing this like photo shoot Halloween party thing. And Rosie thought it sounded cool, and she liked this client, thought I would like the client, and so she tagged me in the post about the party. So like I sort of met this woman through Facebook for 5 seconds, but like I didn't know her and I didn't know anyone at the party at all. So that also took me 2 hours to get to, because I was like, I don't know anybody. I don't know if I want to do this, but it might mean I'll make friends and maybe even I'll make clients. I don't know. So I went finally. And so I had to come up with a costume for that. But what I did for that was just, there's this outfit that I dress like a weirdo all the time anyway. You know this. So like there's this outfit that I wear that I just like, and I look like a cartoon tarot card to me.
Oh,
like
cool.
if Tim Burton got together with a cartoonist and made a tarot deck, I would look like the Fool. And I thought that was neat. So I just made little the Fool tags out of fabric and safety pinned them on me.
Nice.
Like with obvious, a bunch of safety pins. So I was like, there, good. Got the costume. Let's go. And I went, we're all done. And like, I probably didn't even have to make that effort, because like no one was really in a recognizable costume. People were just there to look really hot / really amazing and kind of creepy. And like, there was so much, how do I put this gently? It was outside on the patio of a pub. So while there wasn't a lot of smell of alcohol, there was a lot of smell of fragrant smoke. So everyone was very chill. And everybody was pretty far out, man. So it was like, so I made lots of friends again.
Nice. Good job.
And I got to draw pictures of cool people, and somehow like most of the people there were burners, and a bunch of them, I don't know how we even started talking about it, were D&D players, and they were my people. So they were just people I hadn't met yet. One of the people, oh my gosh, one of the people that I had the most conversation with, she turned out to actually have been at the same, she lives in my neighborhood. What? And she was at the same Rocky Horror Show that I was at the weekend before for my bestie's birthday.
Crazy.
Yeah, she was there because like I kind of, hey, it's my best friend's birthday, to like the guy at the ticket booth who surprise happened to be the director. And he's like, oh, I think I can get the cast to sing happy birthday to her. And I was like, if that is possible, please do it, because she is so sloshed, but she will enjoy that so much. And, like, and the cast did. And so like it was a big deal. It's a memorable thing to have some random audience member up on the stage for everyone to sing happy birthday to. So she remembered that. And I can't believe we were in the same audience and we met like a week later. Anyway, so that's the excitement of Kate for the past week. Happy Halloween. Have you had your shit together?
Well, you've had your Halloween shit together much more than I have.
My Halloween shit is on point. Did you even see the pumpkins I painted last night? Girl.
If you remember, I did not celebrate Halloween until I was 18 years old and in college. I was not allowed to in my house. It was
really, they held on to that long?
The first time that I celebrated Halloween was the first time I was away from my parents on Halloween. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. My parents stopped caring once they left Lamb of God.
No, my mom, and I don't know about my dad, but continued to believe that it was a satanic holiday and that participation in the holiday in any way, shape, or form condoned and I guess sanctified satanic behavior. I don't know.
I would love to know where people got the idea that there's anything about Satan involved in Halloween.
The Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. But
where did the Catholic Church come up with that idea? Like,
no, they didn't come up with
the idea. As I raise a skull mug.
No, they made up the idea so that they could vilify all religions but their one true religion. They had to make up rumors and lies about everything so that they could make everyone be Catholic instead of anything else. But
even though they took Halloween from
right, exactly.
Anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, about your shit.
So because of that, I'm not very good at celebrating Halloween. And like when you said we should dress up for this episode, I was like, oh, fuck, I don't have any costumes. I don't have time to get a costume together. I'm not even good at costumes. Like I
don't even have an orange shirt.
I don't have an orange shirt. Gross. Why would I have an orange shirt? So yeah, I just put on this, like, I don't know. I bought this for a Renaissance wedding, and I put on like a dragon necklace and dragon earrings and some flowers in my hair.
Love it. I could
And
See
I
it before.
downloaded a background that would have given me wings, but I can't figure out how to make it show up on here. So this was the best I could do.
Oh,
And as far as Halloween decorations go, I meant like for the outside of the house, I managed to buy one white pumpkin.
oh, well done.
Only because they sold it at the farmer's market. Usually I have a ton of pumpkins. I love pumpkins and
I love pumpkins.
mums, whatever. And then the other Halloween decoration that we have in the front yard right now, trigger warning for people who don't like death of animals. There's a dead rabbit in our front yard right now. Yeah.
Like a corpse or like a skeleton of a rabbit?
No, like it just died the other day. Like yesterday.
Oh, like a recently deceased animal.
Yeah, with a
not
head.
decoration.
No. Sam, I guess it was like sleeping under his tire or something when Sam left for work yesterday.
Oh God, that's horrible.
I know, and he's not cleaning it up, and I don't want to leave my house now, but I figured he has till Tuesday morning to clean it up because until then it's a Halloween decoration.
Man. That's the worst.
So no, I don't have my shit together with Halloween. So I'm glad that you have joined me here today to tell me about Halloween and maybe make me enjoy this holiday a little more than I was raised to enjoy it. So
oh, lovey.
Okay, over to you. Tell me about Halloween.
Well, first, let us just get in the Wayback Machine and recall, you and I, how we were raised to celebrate Halloween, or rather to not celebrate it, because we're in the fundamentalist Christian church that we were raised in for 5 minutes.
It wasn't a church. It was a Christian community.
It was a Christian community. My bad. Still fundamentalist and weird though. Anyways, so we went to their school, and I recall, because I didn't have any knowledge of Halloween, really, I recall that we celebrated All Saints Day.
Yes. November
instead.
1st. Yes.
And that
November
we could
1st.
dress up as like harmless things and or saints.
Christian heroes is what they would call it because they
Christian
didn't want
heroes.
it to be Catholic. They changed it to Christian Heroes Day. So you could dress up as any Christian hero, which I guess included some Olympic runner that the boys would always dress up as. And
really?
Something about
I was told a
Ten
clown
Boom.
was okay. And I'm like, why a clown? A clown for God. That makes no sense, but okay.
But it was mainly angels and saints and Mary and Esther and Ruth, who all look the same.
That's why I chose to be Saint Joan of Arc, naturally.
Yes, that was the one Halloween costume where a girl could carry a sword and shield.
Of course. So of course I'm gonna find it. And I wanted to be Kateri Tekakwitha. I don't know if I managed to do that. I hope I didn't. Like, because in my adult brain, I'm like, please don't dress up like an Indigenous person for Halloween, Kate. Well, listen, she was one of my favorite saints.
Hey, when you know better, you do better.
When you know better, you do better. And like from my perspective, if I had dressed up, because I might have, it was about honoring her, but I was also a child, so whatever. Yeah, because I was raised believing we were part Indigenous from my mom's side, and I still don't know if that's true because like my genes, none of that showed up. But guess what else didn't show up? Sicilian, like, and I know I'm part Sicilian because my nanny is half Sicilian. So like, why did that not show up? And you know what else showed up? Like Swedish. I'm like, Swedish? There's nothing in the family stories about any Swedishness. No offense, Sweden. Love you. You're beautiful. I'm just saying, like, there's no stories like that. So genes are weird.
People, when they get their DNA test results back, find out that their father is not actually their father. But I'm sorry, you are 100% Swartz. There's no way your father's not your father.
I am 1000% Swartz. I'm so Swartz. I'm the Swartziest Swartz there is. Is
there any possibility your mother's not your mother?
I mean,
like embryonic implant, but that didn't exist in the 70s?
Aliens!
The aliens came down and altered your DNA so it was only Swartz and zero Kraus?
It would be interesting. It would explain some things.
But you do have
the next generation.
But you do have a belly button and you're not missing a belly button.
You know what? My dad doesn't have a belly button.
Right. We
Yes.
discussed that on here. Yes. And about the aliens and the CIA and all that. Yes.
Right. Like if it skipped a generation, it would explain Sam a little bit. But Sam is very me personality wise, just make him neurotic and a genius, which I'm not. But the genius part, maybe neurotic about something sometimes. But anyway,
What's the opposite of neurotic? Free spirited?
apathetic. I don't know. Can't be bothered. Like even peer pressure, 98% of the time, I'm like, what?
Except for with cigarettes.
Except when my best friend wanted me to try a cigarette. And I was like, fine.
Evil laughter.
I don't know who else could have made me try it but you, Beck. But
but back to Halloween. Back to Halloween.
But back to Halloween.
We
back to
could
Halloween.
tie
So,
peer pressure back to it, but yeah, back to
right.
Halloween. Sorry for
So
that.
that's how we celebrated. That's how we celebrated Halloween. So let's roll it back a little bit. So Halloween comes from All Hallows, which was the Catholic Church's answer to Samhain, which was a Celtic pagan celebration. The pre celebration, pre Christianity, Day of the Dead / harvest / I'm gonna get into it. Lots
not
more.
satanic.
What?
Not satanic.
No.
Do
they didn't
even
have Satan.
Did the Celtics or the pagans even believe that Satan existed?
No.
I mean, Satan is patently part of the Christian religion, right?
Big, strong part of the Christian religion. But when All Hallows was created, it had nothing to do with Satan either. It was about a celebration.
Also, just one more note for any listeners, real quick. When I'm saying satanic, I mean the stereotypical satanic panic definition of satanic. I know that is not what Satanism actually is. And Satanism is actually a really cool group of people who are mainly atheists normally, who don't believe in Satan, but they
just think it's funny.
But not just funny, but they use it for
non-conformity.
But they use it to say, like, if you're going to have separation of church and state, and if prayer's going to be allowed in school, then you need to let my child do their satanic prayers too. It's a way of like balancing the Christian.
Yeah, and it's bucking the system. It's non-conformity is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's a way to sort of keep those evangelical religious right in check and keep religion out of places where it needs to be kept out of. They're literally playing the devil's advocate.
Which I love for so many reasons. But yeah, the creation of Halloween, and we'll get to how it became Halloween, but like in the beginning, when Christian colonizers from Rome, when the Romans were taking over various parts of Europe, one of the best ways to colonize a people is to convince them that everything they believe is wrong and that your religion is correct. Because it's one thing to conquer people physically, but like if you want them to stay conquered, you got to conquer them spiritually, like take away their way of life and like give them a new one, so that they're integrated. And that has been successful in conquerors' ways for a long time. Terrible for people, but for conquering it works. So anyway, the Christianity created All Hallows to sort of integrate the pagan celebration of Samhain, spelled Samhain, because personally I think the Irish and the Welsh specifically really just chose to spell everything they had to spell in English as unpronounceable as humanly possible, just to give the finger to the British. And I support that. I think that's fine. Because when you look at Samhain, it's spelled Samhain, and you're like, how do you get like an MHA to sound like wuh? I don't know. It's to make the English speakers look stupid and successful. So anyway.
Did they have a different alphabet than us? Did it make a different sound for them?
They didn't. No,
they had outside of our scope of knowledge at the moment.
It's hard to know because the British conquered Ireland, and so it's said that they didn't have a written alphabet before the Roman alphabet came along, and so when they translated Irish into letters that are used by the conquerors, that's what they did. They made it like that. So they do have letters that we don't have in English.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they have sounds that aren't the
Hey,
same.
in all fairness, we are not linguists. This is not a linguistics podcast.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more about this, go listen to another fucking podcast, you moron. I mean that with all due respect.
Gentle listeners, may we direct your attention to not us to answer linguistic questions. So, so All Hallows was the day before All Saints Day, and it wasn't just for saints. It was to respect and honor the deceased, all the people who had come before, your ancestors, etc. But probably from the Catholic Church point of view, there was probably more of a focus on saints that had passed, on people who had lived righteously or whatever. Now, that wasn't like I'm sorry, all Christian holidays are based on pre-existing pagan holidays. And that was a way to integrate things. Why create a brand new holiday if you can just take over an old pre-existing one? And because people are going to celebrate at that time of year anyway, just make it Christian.
Absolutely.
Throw a crucifix in there or something. So that's what they did. But it was based on Samhain, which is Samhain means the end of summer. And so it marks the beginning of the dark time of the year, which is like the time in which the world is in the womb, because it will be born again in the spring. So you enter that dark time of year, and that dark time of year means, shorter days, of course, but it also, as far as the traditions meant, it meant honoring the dead. It meant dressing up in a way that would scare off the dead and or fairies or other goblins or mischief makers or any other mythical creature, because that's when, spiritually speaking, the veil is so super thin, it tears in places. And so creatures like this roam the night. And as a psychic medium, I can sort of comply with that a little bit. Let me tell you, October is a crazy time. But and people knew this, people felt this spiritually. And so they would dress up, they would carve out, they didn't have pumpkins because those are indigenous to America, but they did have, which is something I want to fit into every episode, but they would do turnips, and they would carve turnips to make jack-o'-lanterns. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so they're, if you Google that, be prepared. Don't do it at night because it's scary looking. To me, anyway. Carved turnips.
Turnips can't be terrifying. I don't believe you.
Yeah, they can.
I'm going to wait till the middle of the night and I'm going to Google it.
Then you're going to call me in the middle of the night like, I'm fucking terrified and it's your fault. Why? Why are you awake? 3 a.m., Becca. So they would do that. There was a whole lot to the celebration. There was mainly like a big bonfire. There was often a man celebrating the Holly King, or the horned god, who would represent like the death of summer and the re-emergence of the person who would rule the darker time of the year. And so there would be a big bonfire, people would jump over the bonfire, there'd be lots of sex in the woods and feasting.
Why would they jump over the bonfire?
I think because I haven't looked it up specifically. It was just a tradition. I don't know. I think it had something to do with, and I've heard this as a tradition, but it might not be as widespread. It might have been a smaller thing, but a lot of people would extinguish all the fires in their home so that they could start a new fire from that sacred bonfire. And jumping over it was a way of inviting fertility and inviting the harvest, because this is also harvest time, the end of harvest time. So inviting the harvest to be good and to stay good and not get rotten and whatever during the winter. It was like hey, let's bring in all the good stuff. We're going to jump over the bonfire because we're daring. And if we're daring, we're inviting the good stuff.
I would have said the reason they jumped over the bonfire was probably mead, lots and lots of mead or beer or ale or whatever it was they were drinking.
All of the above. Let's say all of, because I'm mostly basing my knowledge on Celtic / Irish tradition. So I think that's a strong and legitimate assumption. But yeah, so there was a lot of celebrating the dead. There was also dressing up to scare off the fae that might carry you off, or the dead that might think it's time to come back to the living. So these are all traditions that people knew of, because a lot of times people were still celebrating their old holidays alongside the Catholic or the Christian holidays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess those lived on in memory. But the Halloween that you and I know as Americans, because Halloween isn't celebrated like this all over the rest of the world, okay? The way we celebrate it is very American. Very, very American. So it was like, and anytime you want to jump in and say, Kate, you're talking too much, I have a story. I know that you will.
I don't have any
okay.
stories. I don't. I mean, other than like, yeah, no stories.
Okay. Or have you heard of Mischief Night?
Yes. I was going to say, remember Meet Me in St. Louis when the kids were like stealing furniture from their neighbors' porches and screaming and yelling and like burning it in the street?
Yeah.
Like crazy children.
That's how Halloween was it was called Mischief Night because people were still too religious to embrace like darker things, I guess. Darker things. So it was Mischief Night.
No, I think malicious destruction of property is darker than asking for candy.
That's what I think, but like candy companies weren't big yet at the time of Meet Me in St. Louis, okay? So it was all about the trick, not the treat. It was all about going door to door and like seeing if you could scare people. Remember how Tootie in the movie would throw flour at people to kill them?
Yes.
Because it makes them ghostly pale. That's why. So you're either like trying to scare people or steal their shit or like build a bonfire in the middle of the street or destructive, horrible things that probably got a lot of injuries. But honestly, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like a ton of fun.
Looked like a ton of fun. My mom told me that the stuff that she used to do as a kid was like soap up people's windows and throw eggs and stuff like that. And like, but when it really started to look the way it looks today in America is when
wait. I just realized it basically used to be like the purge for child like bad behavior. It wasn't adult bad behavior. It's like one night of the year, children got a free pass to be assholes and get all their bad behavior out without getting in trouble.
Without getting in trouble. And it was Mischief Night. I think Mischief Night is still celebrated, like a lot of people still celebrate it. So, and it either is on the same night as Halloween or like the same weekend or whatever. But but yeah, it started becoming a thing that was more focused on parties and treats when the candy industry really took off, which I believe was in the 30s and 40s, like around World War II. Or right after World War II. It got really huge right after World War II. Okay, because
capitalism ruins the party again.
Because people want to party because we won or something. And
okay, I can get behind the partying because we won. But so that's the industrial war complex ruins the party again, I guess.
Well, yeah, but also it's not just a party again. It's also because there was a lot of rationing. Around World War I and around World War II, there was a lot of rationing. So, like right after World War I, we had the Roaring 20s where people were like, "Woo, let's party!" But they were still into like scaring the fuck out of people and dressing in very scary things and like setting shit on fire for Halloween, right? Mm-hmm. But then when the 1950s and the wholesome era came along, wholesome, candy was a really big deal, and so was Jell-O, God knows why. And so like it turned into this celebration of sugar and then the 60s came along and they're like, too much sugar, let's make a lot of horror movies, but let's make it really scary. So we went into this resurgence of horror because there was plenty of horror in the 20s too. It was a big deal, but it was a little different. So yeah, so then in the 60s it was like, let's mix sex and horror. And so that is what we have today. We have get all the sugar, consume all the sugar, eat bad food, dress up as not who you are, maybe offend someone's culture. Go offend a culture. Don't do that. But
and if you're an adult or a teenager, it has to be sexy.
Sexy it's got to be sexy.
Doctor, sexy zombie, sexy corpse, sexy toenail fungus, sexy. You name it, it's sexy.
My sister one Halloween found a sexy Harry Potter costume and wore it ironically. I'm sure she still has it. It was like the tie, no shirt, right? And
Uh-huh.
like a vest and a tiny little micro skirt and like the glasses. So first of all, make Harry Potter a girl and then make her really sexy.
Oh, so it's okay for Harry Potter to dress in drag, but not people who want to be Liz
Actual
Cat
drag queens?
Liz I can't think of a single person that Bette Midler who do drag queens dress up as nowadays?
Bette Midler.
I can't think of
Hocus
a
Pocus. The environment. Like I just saw
oh,
that
I'm
actually. There's
but yeah,
so
Harry Potter girl costume. Interesting. Did it come with like a little pencil to put the scar on your
yeah.
forehead?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is funny because she has the lightning bolt tattooed behind her ear. And she has the Deathly Hollows right here.
Oh, cool.
Because she and I are big Harry Potter fans. I have the footprints on my other ankle, but
You do?
again with the cat, I can't quite.
No.
But anyway. So yeah, Halloween has like this big long history, and today it's still a really big deal for a lot of pagans, specifically for Wiccans, which was a pagan community created and back in the, I think it sort of got started in the 30s and 40s, but it became a really big deal in like the 60s. And I don't consider myself Wiccan, but I do consider myself a witch, and I do love to pay attention to different cultures and different celebrations throughout the year. And Halloween's always been my favorite, always, always. And so Samhain is also my favorite, but also as a person who's a psychic medium who dead people talk to on a regular basis, it's also a really intense time of year spiritually, and it's felt, and all my other tarot reading psychic or pagan friends who are into spirituality that way, they're all checking in with me. I'm like, are you experiencing this crazy shit? I'm like, yeah, my bedroom at night is like a fucking train station. I gotta sage it again, it's like
so this
wild.
episode is going to come out on Monday when it is Halloween. Do you
Correct.
have any fun tips or helpful advice on how our one listener Manny could celebrate Halloween? Which, by the way, Manny loves Halloween in like the way that it presents itself now. He is so into it.
It's great.
His Halloween decorating of the outside of his house gets more elaborate every single year. And I think they're still doing
We've got to post pictures.
Oh, yeah, we have to do a picture. But it is like they have a clown. They have giant clowns all over their porch and their yard and their house and spooky decorations. And they're all animatronic. And I got a video when they were putting up the decorations of Manny waltzing with one of his robot clowns that was taller than him. And they have the house that, like today, he is making the bags today. I got a text from him today that he's watching Doctor Who and putting together the trick-or-treating bags. He gets little like bags like for you would do at a birthday party with favors in them, and he stuffs them full of Halloween candy, like big bags. Like you can't see my hands if you're listening, but big bags of candy. Like I cannot even imagine. Like the kids could go to his house and go home and have all of their Halloween candy.
Oh, and they'll know what house that is because
right
up until the most recent couple of Halloweens, the people I would go trick-or-treating with, the Rollinses and like all our big friend group, like we wouldn't trick-or-treat in their neighborhood because we're all poor. We would go to our other friend's neighborhood where you get like full-size candy bars and whatever. Yes. So like we know the places to go.
So for our listener Manny, do you have any fun tips or helpful advice on anything he can do to make his Halloween better and spookier or brighter and merrier or whatever Halloween is supposed to be?
I mean, I think it depends on what sort of advice he's looking for. Like if he's looking for make it more fun and commercial, like the way we celebrate it here in the States, then like I think he's got that down pat. If he's looking for something,
well, I was just joking about advice from Manny as our only listener. For all of our many listeners, what would the general advice you would have for them be for how to have a very happy Halloween?
All right, I have two different flavors of advice.
Okay.
Okay, the practical slash, if you live in America or a place that celebrates Halloween like Americans do, hydrate, okay? You're walking around a lot. You're going to probably eat a lot of sugar. Even if you don't intend to, you're probably still going to eat a lot of sugar or stuff with a lot of sugar in it. You're going to feel like garbage the next day, worse than a hangover. It's like a sugar hangover. Drink a lot of water, okay? Drink a lot of water. Also, if you want to make really gross Halloween food, I discovered a thing like where I call them witches' fingers. They're horrible. So you take hot dogs and you like slice a little bit off one end and you stick a sliver of onion in there and then you microwave it. And so like the hot dog gets all like
shriveled,
you know, and like the onion looks like a toenail, or I mean like a fingernail. It's a finger. Even worse. Ooh, you could do that with Vienna sausages and then they would be toast. Anyways, the point is that will be horrific and gross. So like if that's what you're going for, you got it. Okay.
Oh, that's
now,
awesome.
If you are a person who is spiritually sensitive and you want to protect yourself, because it is a time of year where the veil is really thin and sometimes tears, whether you want spiritual attention or not, do not fucking play with a Ouija board.
But they look so fun.
They're not fun. They do a real thing. It's like holding on to a fireworks in your hand because it looks fun to watch all the sparkles. Don't do that, please.
Why is it
or if you're gonna do it, don't do it without protection. Don't do it without a person who is like me to be around to guide you into not talking to things that want to do more than talk, because most of them do. Please don't do that. I have a list of experiences that are no fun.
Okay, but why is it okay to speak to ghosts and spirits through spirit boxes and technology like that?
It's not. It's stupid.
Oh, they're all stupid? They're all bad?
Yeah. Well, look, they're as bad as going into a house that you know is haunted to see what happens. Okay. Like,
okay.
Do you want to, do you want to get sick? Do you want to be haunted? Do you like, if you want those experiences, and they can last for a long time to get it cleansed out of your body and or whatever you brought into your house with you, that shit is real. Okay. You're going to feel like garbage. Now, if you normally feel like garbage, maybe you won't know the difference, but like, it's all stupid. So like,
don't fuck with the other side. Hydrate. Don't fuck with the other side. Don't fuck with the other side.
However, if you're gonna fuck with the other side anyway, which a lot of people are, because I know a lot of people are. I know plenty of people my own age who are like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna go to Oakland Cemetery on Halloween night and do a seance. I'm like, you're stupid. And I know that because I was stupid and I did that, and that was stupid and it was bad. Fucking yikes. But anyway, if you're going to go ahead and do stupid things anyway, might I suggest, please, bring some sage or whatever you choose to spiritually cleanse yourself with. And if you are, don't call it cultural appropriation. If you're using it for the purpose for which it is used, you're doing it right. Okay. As a previous guest has said. So bring some sage.
A future guest.
Yeah. Another guest that we would like to have. Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. Anyway, so bring some sage. Also bring things that protect you. Now, a lot of people like to, if you like believing in magic rocks, black tourmaline, obsidian, any black stone is a very protective. It repels negative energies. Wear that on yourself, as much of it as you've got, or put it in your pocket. You can get it at the creepy witchy store, crystal shop, whatever. It's easy. That will help you protect yourself. If you're not into pretty rocks, then like use a religious icon. If you're into religious iconography that you have faith in, something that you put faith in to protect yourself. Wear that when you go do the stupid, creepy, stupid thing. Okay.
Stupid, creepy, stupid.
When you go to the stupid, creepy, stupid thing, wear protection, and then before you go back inside your house, stop. Don't go inside your house. Light up that sage and like wreath yourself around with the sage to cleanse yourself energetically. Now, it's not just like an activity. Also, you got to be in it, like have your focus on that. If you have a prayer for protection that you like to say it. If there's a deity or an angel or whatever that you like to have, protect you, be smart, please.
And so
yourself.
The advice is hydrate. Don't fuck with the other side. But if you are gonna,
but if you're gonna protect yourself,
wear protection. Get your spiritual condoms and put them on.
That's right. Safe sex.
Safe fucking with the other side.
Right. But okay, those are the practical things. If you just want fun stuff, lighting a bonfire is a centuries and centuries old tradition for Samhain or for Halloween. Light a bonfire to celebrate life, to celebrate fun, to get cozy, to enjoy the fire. It's a beautiful thing to do. And it's a thing where you can look at the fire, remember the loved ones that have passed and gone before you, as 2 people in my life have done in the past 4 weeks. Celebrate them. Remember them. And remember, don't just remember them to be sad. Remember like the cool things you did together. The reason that they were an important part of your life in the first place was because they brought you joy. Just take a moment, because that's what Samhain's about. It's, remembering our ancestors and celebrating life. The end.
Beautiful.
Stepping down from the soapbox.
I love it. That was a nice, creepy soapbox. Very good advice.
I have so many. I could go on. I could have a whole podcast on this, and I'm not even really educated enough to do that, but I would, because I can talk about anything nonstop for a long time, especially Halloween.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. So, Halloween, get your shit together. And until next week.
Get your shit together, Halloween.
Get your shit together. Bye-bye.